Hi, I'm Apollonia. You may remember me from Purple Rain as leading lady to Prince, or from my band Apollonia 6. I've starred in films, TV shows, and I've been on the cover of magazines all over the world, including Playboy. I was also an LA Rams cheerleader. I'm going to take you with me. Welcome to my podcast, Apollonia Studio 6.
So yeah, and then, that hotel, that I worked at, Alexis Park, where I met Dwayne, I also met Tia Carrere.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So that's where I first met Tia. And I was just behind the front desk, you know what I mean? And I remember her walking in and just I know you're Filipino. There's no internet. You just, you had to figure shit out.
Yeah.
So like I remember when Lou Diamond Phillips came out on La Bamba, and I just remember watching it going, that motherfucker's Filipino. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like, those were my inspirations to be able to, I remember watching Hook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And seeing Rufio walk onto the screen and just go, that dude's Filipino.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had to wait till the end credits to read his name and go, oh, Bosco, yes, he's Filipino. And that was my, for the next year, I'm just bragging to people. You got to watch Hook. Dude, there's this Filipino kid. He stole every scene, man.
Yeah.
Like, that was my inspiration. That was my proud to be Filipino moment, you know? And that's what Tia did for me. That's what Lou Diamond did for me. That's what Pacquiao did for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's to be able to be in the break room at work and talk to someone that knows who you're talking about, you know, and feel seen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's
you see
beautiful.
Wayne's World? Yeah. Okay. That girl, she's Filipino, and that's what my mom is, and that's what I am.
Yeah.
And it just feels good to have an identity or to be seen.
Yeah.
So that's what Tia meant to me. And I remember telling her I'm a comic, blah, blah, and she's still, she's still Tia, you know what I mean? She's doing all kinds of shit. And that's when I first met her. And that day she was just like, I told her, I go, I do this show called Fat Tuesdays at the Comedy Store. And I drive out there and I'll go up. And she's like, well, let me know sometime. Or, but there was no internet. So I don't know how I was going to let her know. But she was just like, I think she's like, I'll look out for you. When I see your name, I'll go. I'm like, all right. But I remember telling her that. And it was just really cool how sweet she was to me and how proud she was to be Filipino. And it was just a great moment. And that's always been my love passion with her. Like when things started happening for me, I always told her, I was like, I'm going to get something on TV, or I'm going to get a movie, and we are going to put some Filipinos on that screen. Like I'm going to have a Filipino cast. And I always told her, I was like, you're the first one I go to. So every project I ever got in Hollywood, Tia was always my first one I'd call. I'd always call her. Like I remember I had a cartoon called Tia. I remember I had like a TV show pitch, and I pitched to Tia, and then when I landed this movie deal and pitched Easter Sunday, it was Tia that I said has to play my aunt. Like, you know what I mean? And they were scared. They were all scared to get Tia to play. They were like, she's too young. How's she gonna play her aunt? I go, well, have you seen my mom? Like my mom doesn't look.
That's right.
My mom doesn't look 75. My mom still looks like in her late 50s.
Yeah.
Like Tia can play it.
Yeah.
So she can play my aunt. So yeah, that was a huge moment for us, all of us.
That's great.
That's beautiful.
That is
it's like
really, really great.
so heartfelt.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well,
Spielberg's the one that got me that deal. You know that, right?
Yes. That's where we were going to.
Yeah, definitely. She was so proud. She was like, Joe's got a movie with Spielberg.
Yeah,
crazy.
I couldn't believe it. You started, you
couldn't believe it.
sending me these messages. You're like, I'm doing a movie with Spielberg. He sent me, his swag and your album.
Yes.
And the cover
swag.
of, I think it was really beautiful cover of, it's one of the trades.
Yeah, Variety. Yeah.
Gorgeous. And then he says, I'm doing a movie with Spielberg, and your excitement. And I remember I got tears. I was like, oh, I was just so happy and proud because I know you have humble beginnings. Yeah. And you are humble and polite and lovely. And you always want someone like you to rise.
Yep.
So all of a sudden, you say you're doing a movie with Spielberg, and then we go see the movie.
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
I took him on a date. We went to iPick.
I love it.
And we had our dinner and drinks and screaming and hollering.
Yep.
And we were sitting there like, we couldn't say it out loud. We want to be like, yeah, he's our friend. That's our family.
Oh.
But it was just, so I know we're jumping around.
That was great. It's,
oh man.
like if I could like tell people, like when someone says no to you, you got to show them why they should have said yes, right? So it's like you don't sit on someone's word, because if you're going to sit on someone to say something or approve something, then you're going to find yourself sitting, right? So when Netflix said no to me on my first special, it was like make or break for me, because I was already like 45, 44, and I'm just like, well, I can't wait for the next turn or the when they decide to shoot specials. Like, I need to get on this one, because if I wait 2 more years, I'm gonna be 47. And it's like, how much longer are we gonna wait?
Yep.
I need to make it now. So me and my manager was just like, we got the money, let's shoot it. And we got the cameras in the room, we got the people in the audience. And we get a phone call from Netflix, and they're like, hey, we heard that you guys are still shooting that special. We just want you to know we really don't want it. And we were just like, what?
Oh, man, they called you just for that.
Yeah. But I understand it's a business decision, right? They had to really like, hey, we don't want you to think that we wanted you to make it. We really don't want it. And I'm glad I still made it and shot it, because it was a good business decision on them. They don't know who I am.
Right.
You know what I mean? They don't know what the potential is.
Yeah.
And so when I handed it to them, they bought it. And thank God, because it took off. Yeah. And they offered me the second one coming in hot. Yeah. And that's the one Spielberg watched. Yeah. So like if they would have said no and I just sat and didn't move, then the Spielberg opportunity would have never happened.
Yeah. So you made that happen. You were persistent.
Crazy.
You had drive and just, they say no, you said, I'm going.
Yeah, man.
You got to bet on yourself.
Yeah.
You just have to. Even, this podcast, we had somebody that wanted to do it and blah, blah, blah. And that fell apart.
It's so funny because we had 2 different people. And I was thinking about that this morning. One of them got really upset with me because he says, oh, we're going to green screen it. And I go, what do you mean? You mean like, and he says, let me show you. So he put like, it was like, looked like a cartoon or something with fake stuff. And I was like, I don't think so. Yeah. But anyhow.
Yeah. And then we had something that we thought would be a better fit for us. And, it was like, it didn't work out. And for a second, we were like,
no.
And then I just, fuck it. Let's just fucking do it.
Yeah,
that's what we did. We just fuck it.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because I just was going about my book. I wrote a book on my mom. My mom was a singer with Parliament Funkadelic back in the 70s.
Molly of Franklin.
And
Queen of Funk.
And I wrote for about 15 years. I was writing a book on her and the women that she sang with in P-Funk. And a couple of publishers going, they didn't really see. They weren't sure what the value was. And I was 2 seconds off of self-publishing it.
Yeah. And
then I got a DM on Instagram from a publisher that read a little excerpt.
Oh, nice.
Is your book published?
Oh.
I was just about to. Well, we're definitely interested. We want to do it.
Yeah. I love that.
So you are proof that the good guy does win sometimes. Good guy does win sometimes.
I say all the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's inspiring to us.
Yeah.
Because you inspire us always. We see, we go to your shows or, just talking to you, and we're always inspired because we're doing it ourselves. Yeah. This is just, we have a team now, but I wouldn't be able to do this without Seth. I'm your craft service. We edit, we direct, we write,
Yeah,
he edits.
I think you should always just be hands-on no matter what.
You got to do it.
When you're creating something, you want to make sure that your vision is created the right way. So it's like, I'm the same way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same way.
We see it.
Well, I became a big, big, big fan of yours from, your appearances on Chelsea Lately.
Oh, thank you.
It
E-channel.
It introduced me to a lot of comedians. I knew of Lonnie Love because she's from Detroit.
Yeah.
But, you know, like Dove Davidoff.
Yeah, nice.
And Michael Yo
Yeah.
and Whitney Cummings. I didn't know.
She put everyone on,
She
man.
put
Kevin
everyone
Hart.
on. But you were like, anytime it was like jokoy is going to be on, I was watching.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was watching anytime.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, you were really like,
A staple.
yeah. I mean, it was like,
Yeah.
No, he's funny.
man.
She was, I always said like, the whole, for stand-up comics was like the Holy Grail was
Yeah.
the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
The Johnny Carson Tonight
Yeah.
Show. And
Which you did as well.
no, I did the one with Jay Leno.
Leno.
Yeah, but the one with Johnny was when like, oh, if Johnny waves you
Yeah.
over,
Yeah.
you made it in Hollywood. And
Yeah.
it was like, it was proof that,
Yeah.
that was true. But
Yeah.
it was, I felt like that's what Chelsea was.
Yeah.
Like if you killed on her round table, you were pretty successful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's got, I mean, look at the receipts. It's
Yeah.
like, look
Yeah.
who came out of that show.
Yeah.
She
Right.
put them all on the map. And that's why, we all just respect Chelsea for that. Like
Yeah.
she knew that we were all important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
And she was incredible. Like,
Yeah.
everyone wanted to watch that show because of her. But
Yeah.
like she knew that like that panel was
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
pretty amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When Lonnie and her would go at it, or
Yeah.
especially her and I. That's why I
Right.
always sat opposite her and
Mhm.
I. Yeah, you know what I mean? I was always the far table so we can go back and forth.
Banter.
And it was crazy because I think I was the only one that was on every week.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the writers weren't even going up every week.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I
Yep.
was I think my spot was every Tuesday I was
Yep.
on that show.
That's so cool. And,
Yeah.
and the one cool thing that I'm realizing now, thanks to you, is that you in your field, comedians, you're very supportive of one another.
Yeah, some.
Yeah, some, but I think it's a higher majority. that
Yeah,
you guys.
I think now.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
no,
But there
explain it.
was, because there was this group of comics in the earlier days. And I get it. It was cutthroat.
Yeah.
It was a different thing. Like I said, they weren't putting black people in like literally the name of the night would be called White Night. Like,
Yeah.
like you can ask any comedian. Like I'm not trying to stir up anything. But
Yeah.
that was just what it was commonly known
Right.
as.
Yeah.
Friday and Saturday was called the White Night. And
Yeah.
that's when they would put white comics on.
Yeah.
And if you were other, maybe you might be able to open
Right.
Yeah.
for a famous white comic.
Right.
If you were a famous black comic, you
Right.
would get on.
Right.
And that was like maybe
Right.
3.
Right.
You know what I mean? Out of all
Right.
the comics. So I get it. Or even Latinos or any of them.
Mm-hmm.
But like, so I get it. It was cutthroat.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can't help you. I'm trying to help myself.
Right.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
And there's no internet.
Yeah.
There's no way of me starting my own fan base.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They didn't have that. It was
Nope.
like, all I know is that's my show and I
Yeah.
need to be on it.
Yep.
Right.
And I can't tell them about you because I got to tell them about me.
Yep.
Right.
So I guess it's kind of like, that it was kind of like, I don't know, how do I say that? Like they were born into that, like
Yeah.
that mentality.
That
Like,
Yeah,
that
it was a
industry.
time.
It's like the music industry. Like
Yeah.
it was. Social media changed everything.
social media changed everything.
because then everybody could reach their
Yeah.
fans.
But don't get me wrong, there's still cats that just don't want to share the light.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And
Crabs
I'm not
in a
going to
barrel.
say any names,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I just don't understand it. It's
Yeah.
just like, you know how many mountaintops there are in this world? It's
Right.
like
Right.
you can go to the Rockies right now, and there's not enough people
Right.
in this world to stand on top of every single mountain in the Rockies. It's impossible.
Yeah.
So why does everyone act like there's only one mountain to climb?
Right.
It's like everyone gets their own mountain. Like,
Yeah.
so like just help everybody up. Like,
Yeah. Mm-mm.
because the more you do this, the quicker they're going to bring you down. But the more
That's
you
right.
do this, the more they're going to bring you up.
See,
That's right.
if everybody thought like Joe Coy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it'd be different.
Well,
Plus, I don't care. Like, just be secure with yourself.
Yeah.
Man. Like, bro,
yeah.
you're good.
Yeah.
You
That's-
got people love you.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's not like you're gonna introduce them to someone, then all your fans are gonna be like, all right, see you, dude.
Right.
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 Okay, there's only one group of fans. And
Right.
No, it's like, come on, man. We all have our own fan base, and
Yeah. It's fear, insecurity.
yeah,
It's the and as you said, born into a career that's extremely competitive, where people are always pit against each other, where the money man is always saying, well, I'm not going to give you the money because they're better than you.
Mm-hmm.
And it just creates that crab in a barrel
Yeah,
kind of
man.
syndrome
Mm-hmm.
where if I let you shine, you might outshine me, and then I'm going to be back at the bottom of the barrel.
So
And that's not
funny,
the way
man.
that's not the way that life should work.
I know
That's
a
the
lot
way
of
it
people
works.
use that example because
Yeah.
I've been saying that too about the
Yeah.
crabs in the barrel. But
Yeah.
I literally say that, man. Get the crabs out of your life.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Get them out. Because the minute you start to climb, they bring you right back down. Like,
Oh,
right.
man,
Speaking of crabs, and we're talking about comedians, and some are isolated or not, sharing. What are your feelings today? I mean, when you start looking at, comedians, let's say just 10 years ago, Louis C.K., for example, and, I really, like him a lot, and I think he's funny. And I don't take, his decadent, misogynistic humor to heart as a woman. And I know that, people canceled him out. There were some issues. What are your feelings about that today? Because you go and talk about whatever the hell you want to talk about. But then there's those other, the audience that are, you can't, make jokes about certain things today. So
But I think
what is that?
I think what it is comedy subjective, right? And it's just like, for some reason, when you say I'm a comedian, people all think, oh, you're just under one umbrella. It's like, no, there's genres.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You like music? Well, what kind of music do you like?
Yeah.
Do you like rap? Do you like country? Do you like pop? Do you like hip hop? Do
Yeah.
you like, what do you like? Metal? Do you like
Yeah.
EDM? Like, that's how many
Right.
choices you have. Well,
Yeah.
that's the same thing with comedy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, don't go to that show.
Right.
That's not your genre.
Right.
You know what I
Got it.
mean? Because just go find what it is that you like. Do you like puppets? There's puppets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to see clowns? There's
Yeah.
clowns.
Right.
Yeah.
You want storytellers? There's
Yeah.
storytellers. You want to see political?
Mm-hmm.
I can
Right.
name a whole bunch of political comics that I love. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You want to see goofy? You want to just see the guy that just rants?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just rants and rants and rants.
You're Sam Kinison guy, right?
No, now Sam, but that guy I love. I love Sam.
Oh,
but,
he was crazy.
but yeah, but
We have to
there's
talk about him
all-
sometime.
There's just so many genres, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You want your clean comic? Go see Brian Regan. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
right.
like, yeah, man. There's just that's my only thing. It's like, yeah, I get it. People are sensitive, but my God,
I think it's too sensitive.
no one's telling you to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like scroll. You don't want
Yeah.
to change the channel, scroll.
Yeah.
Swipe up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
And,
just-
and
yeah.
extremely sensitive.
Yeah, just
Extremely
it's
sensitive
a little
now.
bit kind of crazy nowadays, I mean,
mean-
I even look at like Seinfeld reruns, right? And of course, if he was to do that show today, he'd get blasted because there's stuff that he does and says it's so funny.
Yeah.
Well,
Like-
I mean, like Sanford and Son. You
Yeah.
would watch Sanford and Son and watch the Jeffersons
Last
now. You know, the way that they throw
Oh, that
every word
stuff?
around and say everything nowadays, people maybe
But also, like, the times were
they were
Different.
different.
way different. But I'm not justifying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it was also the times. It was
Yeah.
like, it was okay for a white writer
Yeah.
to tell a black actor to say this.
Mhm.
Right.
And if you question it, you get fired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's also programming, right? It's like, you can look at my earlier stuff and you could be like, yo, look at jokoy. Why'd he do all that stuff? It's like, well,
Yeah.
do you know the times I lived in?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Right.
the cartoons I watched and the
Right.
cartoons that programmed me to
Yeah.
be a human
Yeah.
was that's what I'm supposed to do to make people laugh.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, so when I watch a cartoon back in the 70s,
Mhm.
you know, and they show Asians making a railroad and holding
Right,
water
right.
buckets on
Yeah.
their shoulders
Yeah.
with big buck teeth, and I
Right.
got my white friend on my right side, my black friend on my left
Yeah.
side laughing, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, so yeah, that's what we laugh at, right?
Yeah.
And that's how we make fun of Asians,
Yeah.
right? And that's how I'm programmed,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and that's how I start to come up. It's
Yeah.
just like, you know what I mean? Like, just like black humor. It's like
Yep.
the
Mhm.
same thing. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, is this how I'm going to get a TV show? Is this
Yeah.
what I got to do? All right,
Yeah.
well, then
Mhm.
this is what I got to do.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that they want to do it,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
but it's just like, that's the times that
Yeah.
we lived in,
Yeah.
you know? And then finally they get their, that door gets walked through and
Mhm.
and then we get to move forward. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So
Yes.
Yep.
yeah, that's my biggest thing about, this generation now. It's like they don't understand how we were programmed
Mhm.
back then
Yeah.
and what was acceptable.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, we were like raised watching Richard Pryor,
Yeah,
Eddie
we were-
Murphy, you know,
Yeah.
and that kind of comedy. And
Yeah.
I mean, that stuff was
Mom's
like,
Mabley. We can get real deep. My grandfather used to have Mom's Mabley albums and Red Fox.
Love
oh,
Red Fox.
And it was like, you know, when you're little
mm-hmm.
and you and your friends go and sneak the Red Fox album and put it on the turntable.
I did that with Cheech
So
and
you
Chong.
could hear the humor and Richard Pryor and
with my
all
dad.
that kind of stuff.
And my dad sat in my room and we both sat there laughing. And I just looked at my dad. He was my hero because it was all pot jokes. And, you know, so I was like, yeah, with big rolling paper inside. Look, Daddy.
Yeah.
You know,
it's crazy. It's just such a mind fuck.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To
It
sit
is.
there and not, you know, like I have to explain to my son, like what programming is and what you consume. Because whatever you can consume anything. You consume stuff on the internet. It's like what you're feeding your brain and your soul.
right.
And it's just like subliminally, it just kind of messes you up and you don't know it. You know, it's just like if you watch an old episode of Tom and Jerry,
Right.
and you see Tom running around trying to chase Jerry, and then all of a sudden you see the housekeeper, you know what I mean, who's obviously a black woman because they show her calves, you know, and then the depiction of how she's wearing her nylons just rolled down past her ankles, and then she's holding a mallet, and she's yelling at Tom, you know, and like, Tom, I swear to God, you do this again, you out. O-W-T. And see, we laugh at that.
Yeah.
But then as a kid, you laugh at
Yeah.
that. But then you're thinking to yourself, like, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, really? Did they just make her spell it wrong?
Yeah.
So how does a black kid that's watching this, how does he feel? You know, or she feel? You know, now they feel small.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? So that's that programming. It's subliminal. It's like these little digs that make you feel a certain way. And then when you grow older, you're like, okay, but that was acceptable because it was okay
back then.
when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Frito Bandito.
But
you
it's
know?
not, you know.
Speedy Gonzalez, the same.
Yeah, it's all the same, you know. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you're right.
all. I didn't mean to.
No.
That's all right.
But, yeah.
Last
all right,
night,
it's all
I was
good.
telling Seth, I, was trying to get to bed early. I was all excited. So I put the TV on. And Wayne's World 2 is on. And I'm looking at Tia. And I thought to myself, there's some stuff in there they wouldn't be able to get away with today. The swing every time the girls walk by, swing, Carvey. And then they did the Calgon thing, a little joke about the, Calgon, the ancient Chinese secret with Tia there. And I was like, that's not funny. But I saw the movie at the theater and we all laughed.
Of course,
at
because
that
like I
time.
said, you were programmed
Yeah.
as a kid. Like when you saw the little cartoon of a Asian guy with buck teeth. So like when we were 19, 20, we're like, oh yeah, that is funny. I've been laughing at that since I was a kid. So it's like when I got that movie, right? The first thing I said is we're going to celebrate and we're not going to make fun of. We're going to celebrate this family. We're not going to make fun of this family. We're going to showcase beautiful things about my family. We're going to show every side of my family. You know what I mean? The auntie that, that fights with the mom and the brother and the cousin, or, you know what I mean? Like whatever. Like I want to show that relationship just to show them that this is an American family.
Yeah.
And I swear, like we would go, after we would shoot, we would just like eat or have dinner or something like that. And we would hear these, like, Lou Diamond would tell me these stories, or Tia would tell me these stories about, you don't understand, Joe. I've been in this business for 40 years. This is the first time I ever played a Filipino.
Yeah. She was saying that.
Yeah.
This is the first time I ever played a Filipino. She goes, I would go to auditions and it would say, Asian girl with heavy accent but can sing really good. And she would literally be in a cast call and just see, like, every single Asian.
Yeah.
Not a specific Asian.
Yeah.
Just, hey, do you have slanted eyes? All right, get in the room. Give us anything.
Yeah.
And that's what that is. It's just like, that's what we got to get past.
Right.
You know?
Right. And you made that happen.
Oh, man, she made that happen.
That's so wonderful, though, that you were able to be consistent.
Yeah.
You kept your promises to yourself and to your people, your family.
Yeah.
And the movie was spectacular because it came across, and you said it's an American family. That's a beauty because, we are American families here.
Yeah.
We're diverse. We don't look alike. We don't sound alike, but we all sleep and eat and dream alike.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
true. That's
You should
true.
get Lou Diamond in here too. You should hear some of his
Oh,
stories.
yeah, that would be great.
We'd love to.
Yeah.
We'd love to. So you've had how many specials now on Netflix?
This is my 4th one.
Jeez.
Wow.
Live at the Forum. Yeah.
Laughapalooza,
Yeah, we were at that one.
Apollo. Yeah, that's one.
We were there. We were there at that one.
VH1, USO tours,
Yeah.
and then you're given the Gemini Award
Yeah.
in Canada. That's very prestigious award for comedians.
Yeah. That was a great one.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is so incredible. Where do you place your award? Where is it? Where do you put it?
I have a place in Vegas. That's my hometown, so I have a house there too.
Mhm.
And I have like a room with all my comedy stuff in it.
Cool.
So I put it in there.
Your think tank.
Yeah, just like all the things that I've done. Just I put it in there.
We'll have to take a look at that one day.
Yeah.
Come visit.
I'm waiting. You should hear this guy sing. I'm waiting for the Grammy.
Yes.
I'm waiting for the Grammy.
Jokoy's voice.
It's great.
And you dance.
Yes.
But it's that, and I've seen that. I live part-time on Oahu. And it's the culture, and we were talking about this with Tia. In Hawaii, so many of the families sing, and you were just there, and dance. And the problem is that, they get trapped. We call it being trapped in paradise because they don't leave the island.
Mm-hmm.
And every place you go, there's just singers. Tia, all of a sudden, grandma busts out singing. And you're like, you're at All-in-One Mall and you're watching these kids perform. She performed there. And they're just these talented people. They don't get out of the island though sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I was like, jokoy got a lot of soul.
Yes.
I was like, jokoy got soul.
I know he kept saying that. We
I
were
did
watching.
when you were singing. I was like, ooh.
We were like,
he
damn,
got
where'd that come from?
soul. I was like, he just needs to do like a album of Baby making
You
music.
a black man.
And call it
You're
coitus.
really a black man.
I don't know about singing.
Coitus.
Oh, I love it. That's cool.
I think I can mimic or just enough to get by.
Oh, your
Thank
own
you.
style.
You're good.
Thank
I was
you.
raised by singers. You're good.
Thank you.
You are. I'm waiting for that Grammy for that.
Yep.
It's coming.
And then so they'll be like, I'm the one that told him.
So you've got a zillion things going on now, don't you? You got your podcast, no more?
No, I don't do podcasts.
Oh, no more.
I haven't done that in years.
Well, I know you got your tour. You're touring United States right now, and you're on your way to Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah. So it's a world tour.
Yeah.
It's all sold out. That's crazy.
That's great.
He sold out Blaisdell 3 nights in a row.
3 nights. Yeah.
Blaisdell is on the island of Oahu, and the capital is Honolulu.
That's crazy.
And Blaisdell is huge venue.
Yeah.
People don't sell it out often. I'm not going to name who they were. And when they don't sell out, they kind of close up, the rafters up on top, so it doesn't look, But you sold it out 3 nights in a row. And I know that my family out in Hawaii, they went crazy. They all went to go see you.
That's so cool.
They were so happy.
It's nuts to see where it's at now. It's like coffee houses to arenas.
Yeah. And Blaisdell, you actually filmed a special there already.
I shot Coming In Hot there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I shot the Forum at the
Yep.
Forum. I sold 4 there. Sold 4 out there.
Man, that's major.
I sold MSG out. Madison Square Garden. I'm on like this. I'm on a basketball arena tour right now. So I just did the Nuggets last week, and
No
then
way.
yeah, sold it out.
That's
Next week is the Wizards.
Huge.
Yeah, I've sold out the United Center.
Awesome. You're making it rain, baby.
Two Golden State Warriors during the playoffs. It was during the playoffs. So the Warriors were playing one night, then me, then the Warriors, then me. Wow. The Kings, I sold 2 out. The Kings.
That's so wonderful.
It's cool. It's really, really cool to do it. And then share it with my son because he works with me. So
Right.
Yes.
I bring him out on stage because those are those moments that I want to share with him the most. So that he can see that.
Now, how does of course your mom's proud, but what does she say? What are the things that she says to you other than be careful, be safe? But what does mommy say?
I think she's just happy. I do the joke about what she really wanted me to be outside of comedy, but like now she sees, her son living her dream, and not only that, like shining light on our culture,
Right.
and so she's very proud of that. So, and now everyone loves my mom. Everyone knows the backstory on my mom. So everyone always wants to get to know my mom.
Right,
So
I do. I know.
She's a big thing in Vegas right now.
Yeah. Oh, what a sweetheart.
That's
God
great.
bless her for having you and your
Ooh,
beautiful family,
thank
your
you.
sisters. I love Gemma. I have to meet the rest of your sisters.
Yeah.
So you want me to do the question?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So I have these questions, these 10 questions that I ask. So I call them 10 grown-ass questions. Okay. Tell me one thing about you that most people don't know.
I love to edit.
Mhm.
So that's always been my passion. I don't know. It's self-taught, I guess, but I love to edit. So.
You want to edit the show?
Yeah, I love to shoot. I love to direct. I like to edit. Most importantly, I love to sit there and really capture it. So like everything from Live from Seattle to the Forum, it's all me. I did that.
Wow.
I shot Chelsea's last special, so I directed that.
Oh, wow. I'm just going to say, when are you going to direct?
Yeah, I direct that whole thing. It's really, it's great. And, I want to do more.
Mm-hmm.
So, I really enjoy it. I just really like picking things apart. And
Please direct more. Please direct more. And question.
Yeah, well, I want to showcase up and comers. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I did that on In His Elements.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to showcase a lot of Filipinos.
Yeah.
And that's what I really wanted to do. The little girl, Fatiha, got signed by Def Jam because of that show.
Wow.
I got my guy, Andrew Lopez, who's,
Mm-hmm.
He's gone on to be a really big writer out here. And, Joey Gila, I was able to give them that platform. So I want to do that more, and not just Filipinos. I want to do it for other Asian comics that I like to watch, and just everyone. There's so many comics that I like right now.
Yeah.
Easter Sunday should be a series.
Yeah.
You should do Easter Sunday as a series and direct your pilot.
Yeah.
That would be great. I'd love to see more, because I wanted to see more. I mean, the movie was fantastic, but I'm nosy and I want to know more about, your mom, and then her, and then the aunties, and just, kind of like just a series.
Yeah.
We're
working on it.
That'd be
We're
fun.
definitely doing it.
That'd be great.
We have that deal over at ABC that we were working on, and there's other movie ideas I want to do too. I had to make that movie. The first movie had to be like a love letter to my culture. Like I had to. And it's just like, not had to, I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you think about all my aunties and, my uncles that lived here for 60 years,
Mm-hmm.
I always say this on stage. It's like, I got all these aunts that lived here for 50 years, working at a hospital and working 14-hour shifts, and then come home and turn on TV and put a show on about a hospital and not see one Filipino nurse for 50 years. And it's just like, they feel invisible.
Yep.
And that's what this movie was. It's like, this is that moment where they get to go, that's us.
Yeah.
You know who we are. And
That's
that's
right.
Spielberg.
Yeah.
That's
right.
That's Debbie at Cedars.
Yeah.
Debbie at
Exactly.
Cedars. I was just there, and I wore my Mahalakita sweatshirt, and she went nuts.
Mm-hmm.
All she talked about was you.
Oh, I love it.
And she goes, da 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 da. So I took her aside, because there was other people there, and I was like, he's my friend. And he gave me the shirt. She was like, she went nuts. So I have something from you, and I'm going to go take it to her in person.
Oh, we can send more. Whatever you need.
I got it. And I'm going to go see her. She works Monday through Friday. Otherwise, I would have had her stop by and say hello today. I said, what are you doing Tuesday? She goes, I'm working. She's saving lives.
That's right.
All right.
What's been your proudest moment to date?
Oof. Man, I don't know. I love them all. I think my proudest moment my son. That's my proudest moment. That's the proudest moment right there.
Yeah.
That's it.
All
Yeah.
right.
He's my inspiration. He's my everything.
All right.
What a sweetheart you are.
What's been your biggest lesson learned so far in the business?
Just you just gotta stay focused, and you're gonna hear no a lot. It's gonna hurt, but I mean, does it really hurt? No. To be honest, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
You choose for it to be, hurtful. So that's how it is out here. It's cutthroat. You're gonna see some people, get an easier path than you, and then you're going to see someone that's going to take a longer path than me. So as long as you're living your dream, you're good. You won. You already won. You beat 90% of the people that are living on Earth.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? There's
That's
a
right.
lot of people that wished they were living their dream.
That's right.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Sifu.
Yeah.
What's the craziest rumor you've ever heard about yourself?
That I'm 6'4". Like, I just don't understand how that even got out there. It's like
6'4".
Yeah, I don't understand. It's like, I don't know. They read Wikipedia and it's just like, what? Like, it's every time I'm doing my meet and greet. It's like, you're not 6'4". It's like, I know I'm not 6'4". Like, why would you even think I'm 6'4"?
It's like people think you're born in Tacoma.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 6'4" one is like,
Wow.
it's something, man.
Okay.
What do you think the biggest public misconception is about you?
Oof. Well, I don't know. I don't really pay attention to that, to be honest. I've never even sat and thought about that.
Yeah.
What do people? What are they not understanding about me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even really think on that. Nor do I even want to think about it now. You know,
It's probably good.
Yeah.
What's your biggest guilty pleasure?
Cookies.
Yeah. What kind?
I mean, chocolate chip with salt on it.
Ooh,
Like that's the one. And there's a
salty caramel.
No, just salt and dark chocolate, not milk. And McConnell's is the best one. So if you ever go to this ice cream shop called McConnell's,
okay,
hands down the best cookies. I don't even buy the ice cream. I just buy all their cookies.
They have them in California?
Yeah, they're here. They got it in, I think, the Palisades in Studio City. So, oh, God.
Ooh, cookies.
That leads into my next question. This might be the same answer. If sex were a food for you, what food would it be and why?
Ooh, man. I guess sushi. You know, I don't eat meat anymore, so it's like my choices are very thin. So it's like either pasta, or sushi. So yeah, I'd have to say sushi.
What would it have been back when you were 23-year-old hustling in
Oh
Vegas?
my God.
Vegas. When you were a meat eater.
Yeah, it would definitely have been. I don't know. I was broke, man. It would probably be El Pollo Loco.
Yeah.
Man, 2 for 1.
That's my favorite.
You know what I mean?
If you think Apollonia has the word pollo in it.
Yeah. Apollonia. Apollonia. I can't even do it.
He knows that's one of my favorite foods. He's like, I'll do their commercials.
Yes. If you could take places with one person for a day, who would it be and why?
Oh. Man.
Think. I know, good questions. Great questions.
24 hours.
Oof. I don't know. I would say, that's a tough one. I don't even know.
Could be living or dead, right?
It can be living or dead, yeah.
God. I don't know who to say. Probably, man, that's a tough one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe Red Fox.
Okay.
Yeah.
Red Fox.
Yeah, maybe Red Fox.
Okay.
Just to see, that guy, talk about, he didn't get his flowers until he was like in his 60s,
Older,
late 60s. So it's just like, I would love to hear the stories that he had to go through.
Ooh, I got a story about him.
Racism that he had to go through. And
Yep. He was at CBS. He had his office at CBS. I remember going in there for castings. I'll make it quick. And one day he goes, "Hey, pretty little girl." And so I sat in his office and we chit chat, made me laugh. I went back. He says, "Come and visit me." So I went back and visited him, and he basically proposed that he could be my sugar daddy.
Oh,
yeah, because I could be, and let me explain what that means. And I was like, we laughed. He was adorable and sweet. And I said, well, and I told him this, because my acting class would always say, he goes, I'm with someone, but if I wasn't, I would. It was one of those kind of responses. But anyhow, he was charming. He smelled real good. Like Jerry Lewis. I got to meet Jerry Lewis, and he smelled good. He didn't ask me out, and I would have gone out with him. He was very handsome. I promise you, Jerry Lewis smelled good. His jet black hair,
there in Culver City down at MGM, that white building, that historical building. And he sat next to me and I was going over dialogue and he didn't ask me out. I would have gone out with him. Yeah. He was handsome. He did that whole suave. He had the red sweat. I was like, Jerry Lewis is hot. All right, I'm done.
Everyone, it seems that we interview has a Prince story. Do you have a Prince story?
Just my sister went to Purple Rain.
Really?
And I remember that was a really big thing. You know, I was at where was that? The Tacoma Dome? It was at the Tacoma Dome.
Uh-huh.
Wow. And, I was in the Tacoma Dome.
You were too?
Well, was it the concert?
It was her. It was Purple Rain. Yeah.
Yeah. So were we there?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Apollonia
he knows where I was. I don't
probably
remember sometimes. He always says, "Oh yeah." Wow.
Yeah, Purple Rain. And I remember just like that, how, you know, because like who wasn't listening to Purple Rain? You know what I mean? And it was just such a big event.
Which sister?
For Tacoma to get that.
Which sister was it?
It was my older sister. She went. And I remember she went and bought like a purple outfit. And she had to wear purple. And she sat behind the stage. Because they sold seats behind the stage so she could look down.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was like a really big moment. Like, that's like, I always remember that story.
Oh,
my
that's
sister
so
going
cool.
to that concert.
Wow.
Hey, sister.
Okay.
Sister.
And the last one is really not a question, but more than more of a finish this sentence. If I could do it all over again, I would
not change anything, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was quick. That was
the
good.
Right way. I did it the right way.
Awesome. He did it his way.
And I'm just saying, like, I loved the path I traveled on.
Yeah.
You've done great. I mean, from all your specials and, you know, movies and, you know, you have TV and you've got to do some music, some songs. I know we're urging you to please.
Every time I see you, I'm going to say that now. I'm waiting for that album.
Yeah, but you could have Samantha Aurelio, who's outside, comes to your place and do vocals. You could Zoom. She's really tough.
Wanye and all the heavy hitters that I've met just through you. Brian McKnight, and we just...
I know. All these singers.
He's got the good ones.
Yep. Great people that we've met. Thank you that, you've invited us to your shows, but we've met some really great friends. You have really terrific friends. And it always, in Spanish, we say, enséñame con quién andas, te digo quién eres. Show me who you hang with and I'll tell you who you are.
Ooh, I love that.
And your friends are wonderful, well-known, super charming, down to earth. Yeah. We won't mention names, but famous people. And they were just like you.
Aww,
just wonderful. Humble, polite, just lovely.
Yep. So.
Yeah. Wow.
I love you guys.
I love you. So where are you heading to now? Where are you going?
I have a meeting at 6:00. It's a dinner meeting.
Oh.
And I'm really excited about this one.
Okay, all right. Perfect.
Yeah, I really am. So.
All righty.
Yeah, it's with it's with the person that gave me Easter Sunday. So.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but it's not Steven. It's one of the execs. So.
That's great.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll say Habez's prayer. We'll say some prayers for you.
Oh, I shouldn't even say meeting. It's a dinner.
That's cool.
Yeah, because she's an amazing person.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Work it. Hustle.
Yeah.
Keep at it.
Thank you.
Make your family continue to make them proud. Yeah. We're so proud of you. We love you so much.
Thank you so much.
I love you so much.
I love you.
Your family. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm so excited.
Fun.
That was great. Anyhow, I don't even know. I'm so excited right now. I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining us here on Apollonia Studio 6. Thank you, Joe.
I love you.
Jokoy.
Right. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Speaking of the 1999 tour, and just that period, probably around 83, I think anyone that was involved with the Prince organization at that time talked about the friction that started going on between Prince and Vanity's personal relationship. How did that affect the group?
Want official Apollonia merchandise? Visit ApolloniaKotero.store and ApolloniaKotero.com.